Hi, this is Jennifer Patrick, and I have an advocacy project I'd like to share with you. It is about digital citizenship. And I want to start by saying that the mission of the program and the mission is to teach students to responsibly navigate online information, evaluate sources, and create positive digital footprints. And um, my target audience would be the entire school. As a librarian, one of the responsibilities that I think is important for a librarian is to be an example of a digital citizen and to teach students about that. Um, what I want to start with is to discuss the budget. I would like for students to have access to reliable online sources. And some of those sources are Britannica, National Geographic, and to have a tool to search on that would be a Chromebook or an iPad. And that's my budget is listed there. So some of the benefits of the program would be students would learn about reliable sources. Teachers would be able to reinforce academic integrity, proper citation, and safe research sources. Families would be able to implement these things at home, and the library would be a safe place to research these things. As it's in an elementary school, I'm going to have up-to-date tools. Students would be able to use critical thinking skills and learn about copyright laws, fair use, crediting others, and then they can use those skills to create unique projects. So I found 3 different articles. The first article I'm going to talk about was a study they did in a middle school. And it starts off by saying that the typical 15-year-old student spends more than 3 hours a day, using digital devices for learning at school and another 3 hours for learning outside of school. And as with anything, there's risks with these digital devices, and some of those can be misuse, loneliness, bullying, cyberbullying. And some of the people that can teach about safe online use are, of course, parents, students themselves, and teachers. And this study took place in China, and it was in grades 4 through 9. And they were able to identify 4 concepts of digital citizenship. And one of them was access to the internet or digital devices, capabilities to use the tools, how much time is spent, and did students acquire knowledge and capabilities to use the internet in an appropriate and other things in an appropriate environment. So by the end of the study, they were more positive about their preparation to teach this. The teachers prepared more and reported going online more for learning. And after teaching about online etiquette, digital footprints, anti-cyberbullying, the teachers reported that they were slightly more positive about the students' digital capabilities, and they believed that there was still room for growth. The next study that I read about was at an elementary school, and this was actually sixth graders, and in this case it was an elementary school. And one of the quotes was, in a society driven by advanced digital technology, individual citizens need to possess the qualities and capabilities necessary to actively adapt to the social changes brought by digital technology. So basically, we've got to be able to equip our children, our students, our families in order to keep up with this technology. So students needed to learn about, misinformation, rude comments such as that. And this study addressed 2 questions. Does a digital citizenship learning model affect elementary students' digital citizenship? And does a digital citizenship learning model affect students' academic interest? So students were able to use digital devices and materials in a variety of their classes, not just language arts, math, stuff like that, but they used it in art and science and social studies and music, and they created projects. And they did all kinds of things in these different areas of study. They measured things, they listened to things, they shared information, and the students were told to accept others' opinions when they were doing group activities. They were to work together to solve problems related to the digital society in their lives, and to use these digital materials to address problems while citing sources and evaluating the information. And there were two main groups. There was a controlled and an experimental. And after the survey, that showed a significant difference in the digital citizen between the two groups. The experimental group had higher scores in digital security, social responsibility, and empathy, just to name a few. And it was beneficial to promote the citizenship as an educational impact of the class. And I thought that was great because it does show the need for that. The last article I read talked about digital citizenship as librarians as leaders. And school librarians should provide instruction that encompasses more than just online safety. According to a dictionary.com definition, a digital citizen is a person who develops the skills and knowledge to effectively use the internet and other digital technology, especially in order to participate responsibly in social and civic activities. And I thought that was interesting that they added social and civic activities, because how our behavior is online also is going to affect how we are in the communities. And what's really important is that whenever we're, as librarians, teaching these lessons, we need to connect them to the standards. And the Association of School Librarians gives domains on what the librarian's role is, and that is to model, guide, and facilitate understanding. And a way that a school librarian can do these is by using the databases. Show students how to use them correctly, show them the correct where to find accurate information, and then going along with that is the citation of these sources. Are they referring to them correctly? Are they giving credit? Using literacy skills when using digital tools and resources. So making sure that they're able to read and understand, use those critical thinking skills. And then, of course, empathy. I thought that was a really important one. Whenever they're online or looking at things, are they viewing that through the lens of trying to understand and not be critical about it? And some ways that you'd be able to measure the impact of the project is having a digital safety night and tracking the attendance in that, inviting parents, students, teachers, community members. You could also track the number of digital products created in the library. Also going back into the classroom, taking that back into the classroom, and then asking teachers to give you that information. Reduction in plagiarism, and a survey from parents about the helpfulness of that digital night. My references are cited here, and this is a project that I would think that would be really great in any community. And I appreciate you listening. Thank you.